What's going on, guys? Danny from Slow Restoration. We got a quick how-to today. We have a 2006 Cadillac STS. This is actually, it has the North Star and it's all-wheel drive, so it's kind of an oddball as far as that goes. Maybe oddball, rare car, whatever you want to call it. But as you can see, this headlight is very cloudy. Got a lot of moisture in it. We have a replacement one here. So we need to get this out. We already started by removing the engine cover and the side panels. We have them sitting over there. There's a panel that goes across the front here too, because we need access to the front bumper to get this stuff out. So it's pretty easy. You just have some spin clips and then some push clips and some other areas of it. So we'll get that out of the way. We are also doing a power steering pump in this later. It'll probably be a separate video. So let's keep moving along on this. We can see by the new headlight we have a mounting point here, one here, and one at the bottom here. So let's get this bumper cover pulled back. I'm not sure if we'll have to remove the whole thing or just obviously we have enough room just now to pull this back to get access to some of them, but I don't think we're going to be able to get this bottom corner, definitely not that. So we'll have to at least take this corner loose and pull it back, and possibly, like I said, remove the whole bumper cover. We do have it on the lift, which makes it easier for us. If you're doing it in your driveway, it's still going to be possible. You'll just have to crawl under it, of course. All right, with this hose out of the way, we have a bolt here, 10 millimeter, one here, and then of course the air duct itself. We do have the mass airflow sensor plugged in here. We'll unplug that, loosen this, and pull this whole assembly out. With that removed, the two bolts removed, you can pop this up, disconnect that. There is a breather hose that goes over to the air cleaner. It's got a push tab on it back here, and it just slips off. Now we can get rid of this whole, whoops, that just came off anyway, so we can put that back on the valve cover and swing it up out of the way. And now we can remove this whole airbox assembly. Pull it out of our way, we'll set it to the side. Next on bumper removal, or kind of technically headlight removal. There's a bunch of push clips on this inner fender piece, some down here, a few down here, and a couple over there. Once you get them out, you kind of wiggle this thing around, and this whole piece will come down out, exposing that whole front corner. Okay, with that front fender liner out, we can go up inside here. My flashlight is blinking a little bit, sorry about that. So we have a bolt right here that you can get with a wrench, and one more right here that you can easily get with a wrench. So that should make the headlight loose. We should be able to wiggle it out of that space without removing this whole bumper cover. Of course, right here, straight down is the wiring. There's a push tab that unplugs. Let's get these bolts loose, see if we can get that headlight out. We got those two bolts out. The headlight is loose now. We did go ahead and remove one bolt from this fender, actually the bottom of the fender to the bumper, which allows this corner to flex around a little bit and move. That should aid in getting that bottom tab out. So let's go ahead and drop it down and see if we can wiggle that headlight out. We're up top here, and as you can see, we have a lot of movement now with our bumper cover. With that bolt out, these clips out, and you might as well go ahead and remove this clip and this clip, which allows this corner to flex a little bit more. So now we have tons of movement here. So now we'll just wiggle this headlight a little bit and it'll pull right out of there. Take a little bit of doing, but it will come out. As I said, it will definitely come out. You got to kind of flex that bumper cover a tiny bit and twist the headlight a little bit to get the tabs through. But as you can see, it's out and the bumper cover is still on for the most part. Saves a little bit of work. Honestly, it wouldn't take a whole lot longer to go ahead and pull that whole bumper cover off, but Save a little bit of time, and it works. We have our old one and our new headlight sitting side by side. You always want to compare the two, make sure you're putting in what you took out. And as we do that, we see this cover is actually missing on the replacement one. Now this is used, but it's much, much nicer. As you can see, this one's got a ton of water in it and moisture. So the seal is broken. That not that it's not fixable. I think there's actually companies that might remanufacture these because these are so expensive. So we're going to go ahead and swap this cover over to the new one and make it 100% like we took it out. Okay, so maybe we won't. After removing the screw, you pop this cover off, and this is actually the cover that covers all electronics, and this one is shaped differently. It's got this round kind of heatsink piece in it, and this one definitely does not. So we're going to leave that. We're going to leave this. We're just going to bolt it in then. We will make sure our plug is the same pins, everything like that. Other than that, like I said, we're just going to bolt this in. And as always, installation is just reversed. You can just kind of push that in there, flex this a little bit and give it a twist, and it pops back up in. It does have a stud down here, as you can see. It goes on, there's 2 pins. If I pull it back on the fender, they go into the fender, kind of align it. So there's one there and one there. This slides back and that locates it. This bolt hole's lined up. That stud's on, just needs the nut put back on, and there's a bolt hole here that's all lined up. So we'll put the bolt in here, we'll go underneath, put the nut back on this stud, we'll put the bolt back in here, plug it in, and then we'll make sure it's working proper, of course, before we go any further and button all this back up. We'll go ahead and test out our lights. It's all looking good, so we'll finish putting the clips back in and put that panel back in. It's just reverse procedure. You push the clips in, push the center down, and you're done with that. We'll reinstall. We did pull that air box out because we did also do a power steering pump in here, but you really don't have to do your headlight. From underneath, we'll just make sure we have everything nice and tidy. Wires tucked up out of the way, plugged in nice and secure, all the bolts tight. And then it's time to put this inner fender well in. It goes like that. They can be a little tricky sometimes, but it definitely goes like that. It'll take 2 hands to get up in there, and then it's just replace all the push tabs. We do still, I almost forgot, we do still have that bolt in this fender here, the fender, the bumper. So we'll get that put in there a while. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day.